Hey everyone, I'm Rick Beato. On today's episode, we're going to talk about what may be the greatest solo of all time. You guys know that I'm into hyperbole, but when you see this, you're going to say, you know what, that may be the greatest solo of all time. The chances of stumbling on these 2 minutes when it's 34 minutes into the piece is just about impossible. But I'm going to play it for you right now.
Si pudiera, como si fuera un chico, emborrachar el ritmo de un maldito rock. Pero hay un par de ojos inclaudicables.
Now, imagine being in the audience there in 1974. I mean, I don't know how many people are still alive from then. His recordings from really 1973 through 1985 are absolutely phenomenal. There's great recordings in the 60s, but his technique, his feel, everything, his repertoire of song, everything really solidified during that time period. My dad bought me this record, Virtuoso, and that really kind of changed my life. I had heard bebop my whole life, but when I started learning the ideas from that, it started to all make sense to me. Let me start off with some specifics on what actually makes this song great, because people are always saying, well, you're not really talking about that. You talk about the different parts. Well, that's actually what is great about the songs. But this song in particular has some really interesting things. First of all is the melody. This is actually a very sophisticated melody that Eddie Vedder sings in here. The verse starts in A, but it's really an A chord and then a G major over A. So the scale that he's singing in is A mixolydian, which is the fifth mode of D major.
Que un sueño acabó, ya te dijeron, pero no, que todos los sueñitos no.
You hear that C natural there. So that's what we call a downward modulation. That's really the brilliance of this chorus, is that it goes from essentially A minor to A major right there. When we get to the second verse, the guitars clean up again. They play slightly different. Mike McCready's part has kind of a Hendrixy.
Arrugar es ir al saladero.
This actually really makes the chorus. It's actually the confusing part that most people can't hear, is this one guitar part that happens. Interesting that they would make that change there to go from, and then the fourth time sets up the next set.
Imagina los planes que en mi mente están tan sin dolor.
So it's going from, so essentially open strings, which is really G over A, so the same, like you're playing that. Now, one of the really interesting things is there's a real hard dissonance in the middle of this chorus. You're hearing this F holding on the guitar while this acoustic's playing E minor, the other guitar's playing that. Da, that's that flat 9 dissonance. This is one of the best performances I've ever seen. And it's all improvised. And it has so much fire and so much swing that it just blows my mind. I don't really think that he considered himself a singer. I think it took him a while for him to get used to the fact that, yeah, he's a great lead singer. And his voice, I can't imagine anyone else's voice on here, especially up in that register. It just makes the chorus explode. When it gets to that third phrase, though, just beautiful.
Imagina
I love the fill that happens right before the high point in the chorus. Check this out. It's going da-do-doom, crash, da-boom, then a flam on the 2 times. Listen. And then there's no kick that goes with that bass, right? Okay, that solo is one of the greatest ever, followed by the one at the end of the song that most people think is the greatest solo. So let's talk a little bit about that. That is just so emotional, so beautiful. Okay, that's really beautiful. He bends into that sus4s on the D major, sus4 on the A major, sharp 11 on the C major, major 7th on the G major, all those upper extensions, or what I call the haunting tones. Boogie woogie, stride piano, bebop. It's like a blues etude, but he's improvising everything. And it's insane. Uses that Lydian, the sharp 4. The thing about the melody is that it's incredibly intervallic. I will show you when I put the notation of the melody up there along with Eddie's singing how intervallic it is. Now when I say intervallic, I mean it jumps. It uses a lot of arpeggios. It uses some huge skips in the melody, octave skips. It also uses very complex rhythms, so it's intervallically sophisticated and rhythmically sophisticated. There's a great video on how to play that lick right there called The Tastiest Oscar Peterson Blues Lick. There's an octave jump there. How many melodies have octave jumps in there? Very few. He's going all over the chord changes here. He's going, it's really intervallic. He's jumping big. It's not scalar. There's some scalar things where it's going da 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 da. Let's follow along with the music and the melody. That is really strong melody writing. I mean, that's honestly, it's like a jazz musician would play. Somebody that's really playing all these really hip intervals over a mixolydian. That's why that song is still being played on the radio almost 30 years later. That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel. If you're interested in the Beato book, you can find it on my website at www.rickbeato.com. Thanks everyone for watching.